All right, y'all, welcome back to the channel. Very refreshing to be able to talk about something else because goddamn, man, there's been a lot of shit going on, man, but very refreshing to talk about somebody else. And I'm excited to talk about this right here. Elsie had an interview with Momo Boyd. Yes. Momo Boyd has stepped onto the scene and has made a significant impact, especially with her collaboration with Baby Keem. Now, there's a lot of people out there who may have already known Momo Boyd, and shout out to y'all for knowing that shit, but I was not one of them. So it's super refreshing for me to be able to sit here and learn some more. Let's check out some of the key points of this interview, and I advise y'all to go out there and watch the full interview and learn some more about Momo Boyd, because we definitely gonna learn some things that we didn't know about her before. So let's check this out.
Most people got introduced to Momo Boyd through her feature on Baby Keem's Casino earlier this year.
I'm all good, my hips still wine.
Others might know her as part of the sibling rock band Infinity Song.
Okay, see, this part I didn't know. I didn't know where her upbringing was from. I didn't know if she had an actual group or was part of one. Definitely dope. Definitely something for me to check out later. Infinity Song, I will note that and check that out too.
But as a solo artist, Momo Boyd is still a bit of a mystery to many. And the more people hear, the more they want to know.
I want to have my impact be embedded in the fabric of society and culture, and I want people to see themselves in me across the globe. And the best way to do that is to be super famous.
I love your work. I've been following you since when you performed Sunday Service.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so a while ago, and then with Infinity.
Sunday Service? Like the Kanye Sunday Service? Is that a thing? Let me see. Hold on. Let's check this out. Oh, so she did Kanye Sunday Service.
I was on top of the mountain. I was on top of the mountain. I thought I'd never come down.
Yo. What a transition. Golly, man. Listen, that's one thing you're not going to say about these people when they show up on the scene, that they not talented. Anybody who try to say they not talented just talking shit for whatever reason. That's a crazy transition. Okay.
The blow up, and then this year, there's been a lot happening for you. How are you taking everything in?
I'm just trying to take everything in stride and do my best. I think this is one of those moments that people dream of, I've dreamed of, you know, where everybody's kind of like looking at you and curious, like, who is this girl? What does she have to say? What is, you know, what does she have to offer to the landscape of music and the industry as a whole? And so I am just kind of trying to keep my head down and do the work and hopefully allow it to speak for me. It's been a very long year.
I'm guessing it's so surreal, like, your feature on Good Flirt was your first feature ever.
Yeah.
Like, on a Baby Keem album.
Yeah.
That's a big start. And think about the pressure, right? That's a big start. And then you jump in on a Baby Keem album, which is like a super highly anticipated album, especially in the sense that he hadn't dropped anything in so long. And now that's the album that you launching this shit on? That's a lot of pressure.
Did you ever, like, envision that happening?
Well, yes. Not specifically that feature, but I've always had, like, big dreams and, like, visions for myself. And so I've always just kind of thrown my expectations really far.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we, at least in our dreams, we have to be like the best versions of ourselves that we can ever be. Can you tell me how that feature like came about with Baby Keem?
Yeah, it was pretty organic. So I'm sure you're familiar with Dave Free.
Yes, I am.
Of course. We had started following each other like years ago, I think back in 2022, and he...
Why is she following Dave Free but not Mr. Morale? Why y'all not gonna say that now? Now, y'all gonna say something about this one?
He had sent me a message saying, like, complimenting my voice and saying, like, he really thinks that I have a bright future. And it was so crazy to me because the post that he was referring to, that he like sent and was like, this is really good, was a post from like 2018. And I was cringing, because I always cringe at myself. Like, in the moment, I'm like, I ate that. But then obviously you get older. It had been like 4 years.
Wow.
I was just like, this isn't even, you know.
Recent.
Exactly, it's not recent. It's not as good as I am right now. It's like, okay, I guess, sure. But then we just, you know, had continued like an acquaintanceship and just very loose. We had just never met though. Fall of last year, my siblings were on a tour and we were going to LA. And the crazy thing, so he never posts, obviously.
He never does, yeah.
Like, he just has the Instagram. So it just so happened that he posted something the day before our LA show. Oh. And obviously that was divine, because it reminded me, I was like, oh my gosh, like, he lives in LA. I should invite him to the show. Had he not posted that, I would have never invited him to the show and we wouldn't be here today. You know, sometimes, you know, it's good to post so that life can do its thing.
And the lesson in that is also not just that it's good to post sometimes, but sometimes you just gotta shoot your shot, dog. Like, for everybody out there who pump faking right now, and scared to shoot that damn shot, shoot the fucking shot.
Shoot the J. Shoot it!
I mean, damn, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Now, imagine she never sent that message because in her mind, she thinking, that's Day Free, he too big to talk to me, or whatever the case may be. She shot the shot, and look where they at today. It's funny how these chips align. Everything aligns in a crazy way for people. And that's the lesson that I want y'all to take, all right? Listen, we are the internet. I got nothing else. That's all I got. That's it, man. Just take the shot. Whatever. Just do it.
We're in LA. We're having a show. It'd be so cool if he came to the show. Like, no expectations, just like, you know.
Let me see what happens.
Exactly. So I sent him a DM, super last minute. He was so cool. He was like, let me see if I can, you know, find some time in my schedule. And he did. He came.
Oh, wow.
Literally so last minute, and kind of the rest was history. I think, like, I always say, you really get a good picture of like me and of my siblings when you see us live. Like, recording is one thing, and like the videos is one thing, but the live experience and like the gravity of, you know, how seriously we take a live performance and like the emotion that carries live.
I feel like you also feel the energy when you're in the room.
It's just completely different. We really try to leave it all out there. So I always encourage everybody, like, come see a show, then form an opinion. But you really, you know, you really don't know Infinity Song. You don't know us. You don't know me until you've seen that live show. So he came, he saw the live show. From there, he was just like, yo, like, there's this girl, like, she's really talented. And obviously I don't know what he said. I don't know what was said, but all I know is I was on the song.
Wow.
That's dope. I do want to point this out. I mean, watching this interview and watching how she conducts herself and how she carries herself, I don't want people to miss how important it is for women like this to have representation in the music world. When you look at Momo Boyd, you see a woman who is looked at for her talent first and then everything afterwards. Obviously, she's a beautiful Black woman. She's here. But I respect the fact that you see her talent first. And what I mean by that is, like, you hear her on Baby Keem's record, and then the first thing you think in your mind is like, wow, this is an amazing voice that I'm hearing on this record. And then when you hear some of the snippets of her other things, you know that the talent is there. But also the representation to show that a Black woman can do this without being on here with, you know, revealing clothing or saying derogatory shit, or, you know, just basically going all out. And that's no knock to the ones that do it. Everybody has their own style. Everybody got their own lane. But I think it's important for there to be representation for all types of women, right, on the scene. So I think this is very important. And the visual of just seeing a woman like this prosper and get opportunities, and for people to be respecting the art form, super important, very much necessary.
Did you know that Kendrick was going to be on that song at the time that you kind of recorded your part of it?
I think it was in the air, but there was nothing certain. I definitely didn't know if I was going to be on the song. Like, I was more worried about that, to be honest. I was like, whether he's on it or not, like, that's kind of irrelevant about if I'm going to be on it.
Actually, that's bad. I've seen a lot of artists, you know, where you're really hoping for your verse to be featured on something and then it doesn't come out. Fast forward, song is out. I love your verse. One thing that really surprised me though was that song is really R&B in a way. And when you dropped American Love Song last year,
American Love Song. We gonna learn on the fly, y'all. We learning on the fly. American Love Song.
If I wasn't so American, I might love you.
Okay, American Love Song. There you go.
and then even the soft rock that you do with Infinity Song. How do you feel about the people that were introduced to you with this Keem feature and might have expectations for like how you sound?
I think it's really fun. I think the whole point of music is to be, or at least for me, not for everybody, but my ethos in music is to try things. That's why I love alternative music so much, is because there are no bounds. There's no boundaries. Like, I listen to punk, I listen to soul, I listen to jazz. There are so many things that I listen to, and so being able to have another representation of what I could do is really exciting. Of course, I want to have like a signature sound, but you know, some of my favorite artists that I admire, they really like push themselves. They really have fun with the art form, you know, like there's a lot of pressure, but it's like at the end of the day, it's creativity. Even Keem, like
That's true.
really, it's just fun, you know? Obviously there's a gravity to it, and it's your life and you're telling your story and all of those things, but you know, I really just admire people who at the end of the day, they put those boxes to the side.
How y'all feel about artists having signature sounds? I feel like every artist has a signature. It depends on how you look at it. If you want to look at it as that means that they sound the same on every track, I guess. But I'm okay with artists having signature sounds. I'm okay with artists having signatures. I'm okay with artists having a certain sound distinction where you can recognize them on tracks. And there's some artists that can just do it all. And I'm okay with that too. But I think that takes a special talent to be able to do that. And listening to American Love Song and then go into like her feature on Baby Keem's record, that's out the box. So with that example, those are two different records, two different sounds, but her signature is still there, if that makes sense. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section. I like artists having signature sounds. I'm not mad at that.
Beyonce, you know, she's been doing so many genres since the beginning of her career.
That's facts.
I was just reading like this quote from a magazine, and she was like, yeah, I can sing like the rappers, I can do rock.
How far back?
It was like 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
She was like, I can sing like the rappers, I can do rock, I can write, I can do it all, and I just want to show everybody that I can do it all. And I was like, exactly, like, that's really what it is. It's just capturing the fullness of humanity. And I think a lot of times, as artists, as women, as Black people, there's like a very specific type of
people
way.
want to put you in a certain box.
Exactly,
Yeah.
they want you to, you know, cater to their expectations. And, you know, that's fine, that's human nature at times, but, you know, I think it's my job to just be free, you know, and
be
live
yourself.
fully. And I understand that there are expectations, but like, you know, that's cool, great, thanks, but
I'm gonna do me, basically.
Exactly, so.
You know, the industry plant allegations, of course, people that aren't acquainted with you be like, oh my God, she's an industry plant. And I really love the way that you address that.
So her tweet said, "You work your whole life to get the honor and privilege of being called an industry plant. I'm so happy. I guess that means I'm up." Listen, this is the same thing that I thought when it came to Doechii. You know, when Doechii, you know, came up and Doechii was doing her thing, now all of a sudden it was like Doechii's an industry plant. It's just interesting to me to see that. People are definitely gonna always look at it like, you know, somebody's an industry plant. But those are gonna be people that don't appreciate the music, don't appreciate the artist, or frankly just don't like the artist. You know, the easiest thing for you to say about somebody that you don't like, that seems like they killing it in the game and they talented, is they're industry plant. That's like the easiest thing to say. Oh yeah, she's successful because she's an industry plant.
Okay.
Fuck.
Really love the way that you address that. What goes through your mind?
So the funny thing about the tweet that I put out, people thought I was being sarcastic. I was being dead serious. And I realized, like, okay, it came off in a sarcastic way, but I actually was being dead serious. Like, when I see those industry plant allegations, something in me lights up.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I light up because I know, like, I watch this happen time and time again. Once you start getting that allegations, that just means you're coming across people's screens like 10 times more, like, you know, than you ever had, and they can't get away from your face. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that means it's
That's a
behind.
good thing.
Exactly.
That's a good
So
sign.
like, I would rather have industry plant allegations than like no noise.
Nothing happening. Right. At least people are talking.
Exactly.
And, you know, industry plant is one thing. Somebody saying, oh, you can't sing, I don't know how you got there is another thing. They not saying that shit. Nobody saying she can't sing. Nobody saying she don't got talent. They saying industry plant. Same thing with Doechii. Nobody saying she can't rap. Nobody says she not talented because she's shown way before she got a deal that she do this. And they still came with the industry plant shit. It's always gonna happen. And this is not to say that there's never been an industry plant in the history of the music business. Obviously, there has been. I can't tell you if I've identified any, but I'm sure there has been. As an artist, imagine not being an industry plant and hearing people call you an industry plant. That's an accolade. You know you made it. Just saying, at that point, it's on. So I can see why she would be happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way to control people, what they think, their perception, none of that. So I try to take everything that I see on the internet with a grain of salt. Like, it does not stop me from like doing my job and doing what I have to do. But with those specific ones, I was like, wait, they're kind of picking up. Wait, this is really good. Like, I'm so excited. And then there was a tweet where somebody was like, Momo is about to start getting industry plant allegations. I'm so proud of her.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
That's exactly how I feel. Like, I kind of wear, like, it's kind of a badge of honor at this point because you know exactly what it means. Like,
Right.
I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what they mean when they say that. All I know is I'm up.
I love that. That's always like, I feel like what you said, the internet is always going to talk.
Right.
So, I mean.
Or they're not going to talk, which is worse.
I want to ask, like, because I was reading an interview of yours and you compared going solo to like leaving home for the first time. And just being a part of a band still and like also releasing your own solo music. How's it been like just navigating that like middle ground?
It's obviously been a lot to juggle. Like, they're literally two careers.
Yeah.
You know, and although we intersect in certain ways, we're still very different. Like, my individual expression is just naturally going to be different from a group of people's expression. And so in that way, it can be just a lot to manage, but it is made easier because my siblings are so like supportive, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they are rooting for me every step of the way. And like, when if I can't show up to this, or, you know, if I have to be in the studio a little after them, or, you know, just these things that go into the everyday, they're like super understanding and just making it work. And then
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, that's the only way it's gonna work. Y'all know how this shit get. That's the only way it's gonna work. To juggle being in a group and then you having a solo career that gives you this like massive success, it's hard to juggle that because, I mean, you got one side where you doing great, like you getting all these opportunities based on your solo career, and then you got a whole group right here that, you know, probably has not gotten the look that you've gotten with your solo career. So they gotta be supportive on the other side. That's the only way that shit gonna work. Because if you got people in that group that's like, yo, she thinks she this, yo, ever since she got that opportunity, ever since she got that feature, now she thinks she better than everybody. Y'all know how that shit get. Remember, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. I'm just saying.
sometimes these things, they can affect me. I'm not gonna act like I'm just completely detached from words and what people say and perception.
I want to get into what you were listening to growing up because it seems like you had such a wide range of influences. Like,
Yeah.
what were like the go-to artist songs, albums for you, like growing up?
I didn't really listen to music like on my own terms.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
I was just really listening to what my parents were listening to,
okay.
like all my siblings. Like, I really didn't have, like, we weren't really on the internet or like
Yeah.
doing like pop culture didn't really exist that much with us. It was
Okay.
like very specific things, like
Okay.
just in the car listening to like Bob James or Earth, Wind and Fire or Aretha Franklin or CeCe Winans or BB Winans, the Winans family, Fred Hammond, like a lot of gospel, a lot of jazz, a lot, Pat Metheny, a lot of world music, just really like foundational genres.
Okay.
Like, pop did not exist.
Oh, wow.
I think that's important. And I think it shows a lot for like your artistic direction, right? And the way you approach music, whether people know it or not. I think your upbringing and what you listen to and the things that you use as your foundation for music and whatever that actually translates into on how you create your own, I think it's super important. Those are good foundational bases that she just named.
Disney Channel, like TV, like, okay,
Yeah,
Hannah Montana,
of course.
like, that's my star, like, that's really the pop star, or Raven.
I think for a lot of kids, that's not talked about enough, how Disney kind of like built that pop side.
Exactly. But other than that, it was really like a lot of like soul, jazz, classical, gospel.
What does your current rotation look like now, though?
Can I look at my phone?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if you're familiar with geese.
Spell it.
Geese, like the
Geese.
like geese, like the animal.
You know what? I feel like I might know like what the album cover looks like, but I might not just register the artist.
Well, they're a New York rock band, and they just had a really good album that like really blew up in like the rock world last year.
Check that out.
Y'all know about geese? Y'all do y'all Googles.
I really am enjoying it. Sometimes when there's a lot of hype, I'm like, let me see for myself. Like, let me see what you're about.
Gotta form your own opinion.
They pulled me in. Like the music is just that good, you know.
Okay.
And then the lead singer Cameron Winter, like he put out his own solo album as well, and that's also insanely good. Yesterday I was listening to a lot of Max B.
Yo, that's a crazy shift. From geese to Max B, crazy. More believe in the lies. That's a crazy shift, though.
Good choice.
Which is like completely on the other side of the spectrum of things, but honestly, like really good music, like what, you know. I really love distinctive voices, voices that stop you in your tracks. So Cameron Winter just has like a crazy soulful voice that he's like 23 or something, but he sounds like he's 70, which is so cool. Like,
All right, let's look this up. Now I'm interested. What's that? Cameron Winters? Let's see if he sounds 70.
Back and forth, watching the bells, watching the lights. What I want is far away.
Okay, yeah, he don't sound like his age. He don't sound like his age. Yo, hey, he don't sound like he look. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Okay, that might be 75.
Damn.
70, 75, a little 75, 76. 77, you know, shit like that.
Oh my God.
But yeah, he definitely don't sound the way he look. Do your thing.
Speaking of unique voices, are you familiar with Baby Rose?
yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. She reminds me like what you just said, like sounds like she's like 70.
75.
Yeah, but like her voice.
BB Rose, damn, they got us doing Googles. Yeah, I thought I was gonna say some other shit. Nope, they got us doing Googles. Do your Googles. Let's see what BB Rose sound like.
It's been over a while and things have changed, but memories still linger around, and I'm drinking now, but I don't wanna say too much.
Oh, she's soulful. Okay. Hey, they putting us on. Okay. They putting us on to some alternative shit. Y'all check these people out.
Okay, I also love, have you heard of this punk band named Ammo and the Sniffers?
I have.
Oh,
Okay, at least
Ammo
I know
and the
that
Sniffers.
yeah.
one. Okay.
No,
I don't know none of these niggas. God damn. What does that say about me, y'all?
Oh my God.
What's that? Ammo and the Sniffers?
been
Crazy
fans of
name.
them for maybe like 4 years. I need to see them live. I need to get in the pit. I really love them. I really love Amy Taylor, the lead. She is just so like punk rock to me and like iconic, like outspoken. Her fashion choices are just uninhibited. Like she does not care. Like she's just free. You know, that's just really cool to me. I like freedom. I like people who are free within themselves and express themselves freely. I also like Turnstile. Do you know Turnstile?
I know Turnstile,
I
yes,
love
yes,
Turnstile. I also discovered them.
Fuck, I don't know none of these niggas. God, who am I? Turnstile. Oh, I spelled it wrong. No, we ain't playing Tiny Desk. Tiny Desk be tripping. Turnstile, Birds.
Now it's a holiday.
Okay. Not necessarily my thing, but I respect it.
I love people who like build worlds around their music and Turnstile, like
Does that really?
I like people who are multifaceted
Yeah.
in their art. There's another like rock band named Wet Leg.
No, haven't heard of it.
It's like also led by a
Leg?
woman, and she also similarly like is very free with her expression, and they also direct their visuals as well. Audrey Hobart, are you familiar with her? I love her vibe.
What's the album called?
Who's the Clown?
Okay. You're putting me on.
No, it's a lot of people. And then I've also been listeling to a lot of Luther Vandross. Just on
classic.
repeat.
Okay,
Like,
of course.
Like, come on.
You can't go wrong with that.
And then I was getting back into the Melodic Blue by Keem, like like revisiting that. Like
I also was revisiting Melodic Blue. I found myself revisiting a lot of records. Just recently, I know this is kind of completely off, but just recently, I went and got MF Doom anniversary album for the vinyl. Food. So, you know, I went and got this, and I like revisiting albums as well, man. I picked up actually 2 MF Doom vinyls, MF Doom and Madlib, Mad Villain. And I was listening to these the other day when I was, you know, rearranging stuff in my studio. So, you know, I too like revisiting albums. And Melodic Blue is one of those that I revisited as well. You always find something new. You always find something that you end up liking that you probably didn't like before because you didn't really appreciate it at the time. So this is why, you know, it's important to have these records that you say that have replay value. This is what people mean when you're able to revisit.
What's your favorite song off
classic.
the album?
I like No Sense.
Okay.
I don't know
No
if that's a
Sense is
sleeper
good.
for people, whatever. I really like that song.
I wouldn't say it's a sleeper. I've seen a lot of people like
No Sense
that
is good.
song, but it's not one of the more popular ones.
No Sense is good. I like No Sense. Make no sense. Duh. Come on, man. Come on. No Sense is dope. One of my favorite songs, Baby Keem, Melodic Blue, is 16. I like Melodic Blue. Shout out to Baby Keem.
What's it like being in a band with your siblings? Like, you know, how did it form? You come from a family of 8 kids?
There's 9 of including me, there's
you.
9. Yeah.
Right.
Damn.
So how does it feel like how did that band come together?
It was pretty natural. Like we sang together all of our lives. It was really just like the thing to do. Our parents were very serious about like education and like working your mind and learning new things and using creativity as like a medium for that.
Okay.
I really didn't know anything other than music, you know, because I'm on the younger side of the family. I'm number 7. So it was already established before I was born.
Before you came to
I'm like, I guess it's just what we doing. I was like young and trying to like find my voice in the thing. Like, you know, I had all my sisters and they had their own unique voices, and I was like, okay, well, what's my voice gonna be like, you know? But then when it came to like doing it commercially, that was a whole other thing. That's a whole other commitment. You know, it's a whole other thing than just like growing up musical. Like you have to really like
commit to it. Yeah.
Commit, really. That was also pretty natural as well though. Infinity Song was formed when I was in like high school, literally a decade ago.
Wow.
I know what feels good for me, whether that's how I dress, you know, the types of clothes I wear, the way I do my makeup, the way I do my hair. Not thinking like, okay, somebody like a big Hollywood stylist or somebody is gonna come and like
run the show,
make me a star, you know, and like, please do, like, like, you know, like, obviously there's time and place for that, but understanding that you have exactly what you need, you know, you are who you need to be for the opportunities that you're meant to have at this moment, and not doubting that. Like, even with the opportunity of, you know, Good Flirts and being on that track, it was like, well, are you guys sure? Are you sure, like, I'm the right person? Like, guys, what?
You had those thoughts?
I know.
Okay.
Momentarily, you always have to remind yourself. I think it's...
I'm meant to be here.
Exactly. Like, not letting the imposter syndrome, not letting the self-sabotage or those types of negative thoughts run the show. Being like, okay, I know what I'm doing. So that's what I've learned over the past several years. But this year, I'm learning something a bit different.
Okay.
I'm learning, okay, yeah, you know what you're doing, and that's good.
Okay.
You set the scene. We love it for you. Now, what else? I've had to push myself a lot this year, out of my comfort zone in the studio. When I was growing up, celebrity was king. So obviously, a lot of us grew up wanting to be famous. Like,
yeah.
we were all like, when I'm famous. So like, obviously, there's that whole dream of like the fashion, the cover shoots and the glamour, the glitz, all of that, lights, camera, action, and all of that. But that doesn't really carry you unless you have a deeper purpose, because it is a lot of hard work. You know, it's not just...
And a lot of people crumble under the pressure.
Exactly. So if you don't have a second reason to be doing it, you can like fail. So my second reason is to be that like point of reference for people.
And just to close it off, like, where do you see yourself like in 10 years?
10 years, wow. That's a very hard question to answer because I really don't know.
I think that's a valid answer.
I really don't know.
I think that's a valid answer.
I mean, I can only hope that I'm still blessed to work on things that I care about. Because it's not a given, you know.
It's not.
Like, I mean, obviously work is hard, but work in the arts at least, work is a privilege.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Having a job in this space,
it's like a luxury. Like, so I'm like, hopefully I'm still employed in the field that I love, and just doing my best.
So shout out to Momo Boyd, man. One time. Shout out to Momo Boyd. Beautiful artist, beautiful voice, amazing talent, you know, some good insight on her and the things that inspire her. It's always good to get insight on these artists and see, you know, where their mind is with these things. Again, check out Momo Boyd. Check out the group she got with her siblings. Start to explore music a little bit more. That's something that I want to do this year as well, is just explore new sounds. And it's a good thing to watch these things because you hear about artists that you don't know of. Potentially, it's something that, you know, you might end up liking. So don't be afraid to explore. And also what we learned from this is shoot your shots out there. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, man. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Goods, BigZoeTV. Let's go.